All right. Morning. No. Whatever. I thought everyone was gonna. Yeah. They're all coming. No, thank you. No. Sebastian.
Oh my God.
What's up, Sebastian? Good to see you, bro.
So good to see you.
What's up, Sebastian?
Sebastian, man, it's the rematch with Tszyu. What were your thoughts when it looked like the Zayas fight was on the table, but then it winds up being Tszyu Part 2? What were your thoughts on that?
That's boxing. I don't get to pick my fights. That's my promoter job. That's all them. One day is this guy, and the next day is this guy. It's like this is the second time with Tszyu. Tszyu being the second opponent for our fight. So I'm happy. He's a great fighter, and I'm happy to share another 12 rounds with him.
There was a lot of talk in Fight 1 that the fight changed once he got that cut. Do you want to put an end to some of that talk in the rematch?
Of course. I think I've made him pretty clear last time. We're just gonna have to do it again.
What did you learn out of that first fight, fighting somebody like Tszyu with that aggressive style coming forward?
I always fought a lot of fighters like that. It's nothing new to me. Just fighting him is another experience in that type of style.
Do you see this rematch going the distance?
I don't.
Why is that? Why is that? What makes you think this time it's not going 12?
I think we've been training very hard, growing. Last year was a good year, but this year is even better.
Do you feel like even though he's getting momentum right now, it's kind of going to work in your favor? Because if he's coming ready to fight, you can catch him with a counter or something.
Just like he's growing, I'm growing as well. I'm a champion now. I was unified champion a couple months ago, but I'm still champion. I'm still doing my thing. We're growing just as fast.
Whether it was Tszyu or Zayas, how important was it to get back in the ring this quickly, especially after waiting on fights?
Very important, very important. We're 27 now, full world champion. There's a lot of fights to be made. There's a lot of names, and I want to fight all of them.
Fighting on this Legends card, being on a card with Manny Pacquiao in the co-main event, how does that feel to you?
Very nice, very honorable. We've been doing a couple main events ourselves. I headlined my own pay-per-view last year for the first time. But now we have a guy like Pacquiao coming in, so to fight on a card with him on there, it's pretty good. We're doing the right thing.
Sebastian, do you expecting another bloody war?
I don't want that. Not on my side. Not on my side. No. I want to be fighter of the year, not fight of the year.
Fight of the year. So, what is the most exciting fight that the people are waiting for?
Of course, definitely.
Sebastian, to be a fighter of the year, that would mean one more. So you want to fight 2 more times in the year?
Of course. We got this one in June, and then hopefully another one at the end of the year. Maybe another champion.
Sebastian, when you go back into war with Tszyu, are there any needed adjustments from what you saw, or do you think you fought the perfect fight?
No fight's a perfect fight. We always can improve. But we're gonna make some changes. You're just gonna have to see it on fight night.
How do you think he looked against Spencer in his last fight?
He did good. He did his thing. He did great.
Sebastian, I can't lay that. I might have addressed it already, but I know you had to vacate a belt for this fight. Why the rematch? When I know you told me you wanted to become undisputed as well in this weight class, and you gave up the strap. Why? Talk to me about that decision.
It's just business. The business of boxing. I don't get to pick who I get to fight next. And it looks like that on social media, but my promoter. That's what I have promoters for. That's what I have managers for. They do that. I just train and get ready for the fight, and whoever they put me with, I fight them.
Was there any hesitancy when you found out it was Tszyu and you were going to have to give up a belt because that's what they worked out?
Nah, it doesn't bother me.
Will you get that belt back? Should Zayas win it? Will you get it back off of him?
I'll fight him. I think he's still ranked high in the WBC, so we're still gonna have to fight eventually.
Is undisputed a priority or like a goal, or is it just as long as you keep getting fights like this, you're fine?
I like to be undisputed. My sister's undisputed right now, so it's something to reach for as well. Every boxer wants to be the best, and that's how you stamp that, being the best. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen.
That's what I'm saying. With fights like this, you can still
Yeah,
be the best.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Sebastian, what can you respond to Sandra Zayas? He's telling that you don't want to fight with him. All the noise.
It's boxing. That's people are entitled to their own opinions. They can say whatever they want. We're right here. We're still a champion. If he wants the WBC, he's gonna have to fight us for it.
Is that the same, mentality you keep with the fans who, are also online saying things about you vacating a belt or not wanting a fight? Are you like, I just fight, it's none of my business what they think?
Yeah, well, what would I care? I'm still doing my thing.
Is you and Virgil the best matchup in the division?
Could be. There's a lot of names. You know, we're talking about Zayas is not a champion yet for the WBO. We have that Mexican guy who just beat Conwell. I was there for that fight. That was a good fight. So we'll see what this division has.
Do you think Tszyu, you mentioned the PTSD of Tszyu in the Bakram fight. He's checking for the cut and everything. Do you think he's fully recovered for that?
I hope so. You know, I expect a great fight this July.
What if he hasn't?
It is what it is, man. You're going to see it.
You're bad for me.
What's that?
Oh no.
You fought with the confidence of a champion against Booker. Do you feel that carrying on into this fight where it will lead to a convincing triumph?
Of course. I am a champion, so I have to think like that, no?
Do you think about that night when we go back to that bloodbath of a fight that you guys had? Do you see visions of that fight that night, of the scene that we all witnessed? Do you ever think about it when you lay in your bed at night?
Nah, I don't. A lot of my fights I don't really remember. they not like that, like dumb box or anything like that, but it's just, you know, you go through it. It's like walking in the park. You don't remember that stuff. Like, it happened. Whether you win or you lose. I mean, most of my fights are wins, but you know, that fight happened. He became champion. I remember maybe after the dinner after, stuff like that. You know, it's just, I don't know. That's my life.
When you think back about the fight with Tszyu the last time out, even though you won, can you think of anything that you could have done better? Have you sat there and said, man, even though I won, I could have done this better. I left a lot of meat on the bone in this area.
Absolutely. And me and my father always talking about that. You know, we're working on how to fix these things. And with this last fight, I feel like you guys saw that, a lot more adjustments, a lot more cleaner boxing. And with this fight, we're going to grow even more. That's why we want to fight. Of course, we want to be fight of the year. We want to get like 4 fights in this year. But with that, we're also growing. The only way you're going to get this experience is doing these fights, and that's what we want to do.
Sebastian, a lot of people are raising their hands to fight Bakram with Zaliev. Is that a fight you would promise and guarantee that you'll fight him next?
I can't promise nothing, but I like to fight him. I do like to fight him. He's IBF champion. I like that belt.
I mean, a lot of these fights, they're shaping up to be wars for you, right? I'm sure you want to make it look easy, too.
Well, of course. You know, and that's, I think that's a blessing in my behalf, because these guys want to see you. Everybody wants to see me fight these guys. They think it's gonna be a hard fight for me. It's just up to me to prove to everybody that I'm the best fighter once before.
Do you think he's the most dangerous fighter at 54?
I don't think so.
Who do you think is?
I think I am.
Outside of you, of course. Because a lot of people say you're the best.
Yeah. Well, it depends. It depends on who you like, what styles you like. You know, I only can speak for myself, so I don't want to say myself.
Speaking for yourself, who's the second best super welterweight?
You got a lot of fighters. You got Crawford. Crawford's.
He's a super middleweight now.
Not yet. Not yet. So we got Crawford. We got Virgil. We got the Zayas. We have Bakram. There's a lot of names. This is a heavy division. We have Charlo coming back as well. So there's a lot of big names.
Do you think Crawford